Ethan once again left Emma to reconcile with Julia when she finally felt completely disillusioned. As he departed, he said, "Emma, go find a boyfriend. I won't contact you again." She nodded with a smile, agreeing softly. He assumed she would always wait for him at the same spot if he ever looked back. But later, when he broke up with Julia again and came to her, he happened to witness her locked in a passionate kiss with her boyfriend downstairs. In the thickening night, Ethan saw the girl who had once only spoken tenderly to him now softly comforting another man. "Nathan, stop being jealous, okay? I don't like him anymore," she murmured. As she prepared to make a wish, Ethan was distracted for the third time. He absently took out his phone, unlocking and locking it repeatedly until a message finally lit up the screen, smoothing the frown between his brows. During the birthday song, Ethan abruptly left the room, awkwardly interrupting the melody. A concerned friend beside Emma whispered, "Are you okay?" She smiled bitterly. What could be wrong? "I've grown used to this over the years." Whispers spread through the private room. "I just saw Julia's WeChat post. She returned from abroad a few days ago. Ethan must have picked her up at the airport." "Of course. Everyone knows how much he treasures her." "Keep it down. Don't let Emma hear." "So what if she does? A backup should know their place." "The real deal is back. What's left for her?" The door opened suddenly and Ethan reappeared with Julia on his arm. Both wore black cashmere coats. Ethan was tall and handsome, Julia slender and radiant, a perfect couple. The crowd swarmed around them, cheering Brother Ethan and Sister Julia, while Emma stood aside, wisely staying back. When Ethan called her name, the room fell silent. Julia, now nominally Ethan's girlfriend, glared at Emma and angrily shook off his arm. Ethan sighed indulgently, whispering something until Julia smiled. He turned to Emma. "I need to talk to you." She looked up, asking gently, "Can it wait until I cut the cake?" Ethan avoided her gaze. She set down the knife and fork, waiting. "You know, I've always had Sharon in my heart," he said, frowning. "And you're really not my type. This relationship has been dull. Are you breaking up with me?" He nodded without hesitation. "Emma, find a boyfriend. I won't come back to you." It wasn't the first time he'd said this, but where she'd once stubbornly refused, she now smiled and agreed. Ethan frowned, as if to speak, but Julia snapped, "Are you done?" "Breaking up shouldn't take this long." He said nothing more, turning to leave with Julia on his arm. Emma clenched her fists, nails digging into her palms, yet felt no pain. She forced herself to watch his retreating back, counting 11 decisive steps until he vanished. With those steps, she truly let go. After Ethan left, the room emptied. She stared at the cake, cutting a piece before pouring a glass of wine. She didn't touch the cake, but finished the wine. Wrapping her coat around her, she stepped outside to watch distant fireworks. As the sky lit up, she saw Julia nestled in Ethan's arms, radiant with joy, while he kissed her gently on the brow. It was her birthday, but the fireworks weren't for her. Chuckling self-deprecatingly, she stumbled away, only to be accosted by a drunk man. "Hey, little sister, want to have some fun?" She struggled, panicked. Ethan was gone, and she knew no one else here. As the man grabbed her wrist, she saw a familiar figure, Nathan in a dark gray overcoat, cigarette in hand, speaking on the phone. His chiseled profile was illuminated by the glowing tip of his cigarette. "Dr. Sue," she shouted. Nathan's cold gaze met hers, but he hung up and extinguished his cigarette, approaching. The drunk men, sensing his authority, released her and slunk away. The moment they let go, her legs gave out, and Nathan steadied her. "Stand up," he said. She thanked him, swaying unsteadily. He frowned, steadying her again. "Where's Ethan? Didn't he come with you?" "Broken up again." He laughed dryly, though she wasn't sure. "Aren't you always on again, off again?" She stared at her feet, voice thick with emotion. It's real this time. No more reconciliations. Nathan checked his watch, voice cold. Can you get home on your own? Your stomach ulcer just healed. You should drink less. It's my birthday, she said, looking up with reddened eyes. I was upset. His gaze softened slightly. Let me take you home. I don't want to go home. He studied her, eyes darkening. What do you want then? It's my birthday. I don't want to be alone. After a moment's silence, he said, Get in the car. She didn't go home. In the underground garage, as he leaned over to unbuckle her seatbelt, his nose brushed her hair. She looked up, startled, and didn't pull away. His eyes heated, and before she knew it, he'd cupped her head, deepening a kiss that left her breathless. With Ethan, kisses had been brief and obligatory, but Nathan's were consuming, leaving her lightheaded. Close your eyes when you kiss, he murmured, kissing her again. I can't wait until we get home when you look at me like that. The kiss was long and tender, and she sighed, threading her fingers through his hair. Nathan, slow down. We have all night. She didn't want to be it anymore, didn't want to be summoned and dismissed. This night would burn the bridge back to Ethan. He carried her to his bedroom. As he unbuttoned his shirt, he paused, studying her. Emma, if you regret this. She hooked her arms around his neck. Do doctors usually get cold feet? His eyes blazed, and he pinned her wrists above her head, kissing her fiercely. His hands, skilled from surgery, left her dizzy with pleasure. Later, as rain lashed the window, they lay tangled together, the aftermath of passion leaving her emotionally raw. Nathan lit a cigarette, silent, wondering how Emma had spent 3 years with Ethan without crossing this threshold. When I woke up the next day, the sky is bright. Nathan is on vacation today. Breakfast was already prepared. I washed up and came out. Take a seat in the dining room. When he handed me hot milk, I asked Dr. Sue tentatively, Can I take a picture? 10 minutes ago, someone with good deeds sent me a screenshot. Last night, Ethan posted a circle of friends to read thousands of sales. It's still you, and the picture is under the fireworks in the sky. A photo of him and Julia clasping their fingers. Someone asked me about it below. Ethan replied not to mention him later. Xiao Ran will be unhappy. What a shoot. Sujinon cut a slice of bread. Put it on a plate in front of me. The hand that holds a scalpel on weekdays. Now he has a knife and fork in his hand. But the roots are like jade pipes. Slender and powerful. I thought about it. It was these slender fingers that were messing around last night. Outside, the ascetic and unattainable Dr. Sue. How can you be so crazy in bed? And even more, the words he whispered in my ear when I was at my strongest. I can't even think about it now. I turned my face away. He coughed lowly. Want to clap your hands? Nathan didn't answer. But after putting the bread away, but the hand was not withdrawn. I sluggishly pulled out my phone. I took a photo and asked if I could post it on Moments. Nathan peeled the egg slowly. I'm single, huh? He looked at me. Hand me the peeled eggs as you like. I posted a circle of friends. Good-looking hands. The bread that was cut out seemed to be more delicious. The picture is Nathan's good-looking pair. The hand of the indignation of man and God. A few seconds passed. It's like cold water splashing in a pan. Mine, WeChat directly fried the pot. Ethan in the WeChat group of several Fox friends and dogs. Someone took a screenshot of my circle of friends for the first time. Really fake. P-figure of it. Not to mention, this hand is really good-looking. I can't see it. Emma really has 2 brushes. This photo is 80% of the network map he deliberately found. I want to stimulate Dongchen. Ethan was naive. Dongzi, what do you think? What if it's true? Emma is not ugly. White and tender. It's a lot of pain. Ethan, he didn't dare. It's hard to say. The young man still has a 3-point temperament. Rongshin seemed to have said the same thing at the beginning. Harrison. That's right. Joe Rongshin Dongzi. You said Emma was going to talk about it. You don't mind if you don't. Ethan said. He didn't dare to. He really dared to talk to others. I didn't even have to make a spare tire. Ethan told him not to play this trick. He's not Julia. Lao Tzu doesn't eat his set. Finish the message. Ethan threw down his phone, lit a cigarette. Isn't it stupid to play this kind of trick? There are a lot of messages in Jiangmu's WeChat. It's all in the open and in the dark. Ask me what that circle of friends means. I casually took a look. There was no reply. In the afternoon, Nathan had a temporary surgery to go to the hospital. You rest at home. Wait until I come back in the evening to have dinner together. He changed his clothes, got the car keys, and was about to go out. But I followed quickly. I want to go back to the store. Nathan changed his shoes. He gave me a faint look. Something? I pursed my lips. Didn't dare to look at him. Lu Dongqing's things are still there. I packed it up and asked his assistant to take it away. Nathan's voice was faint. Well, I'll send you. Nathan. I didn't finish talking to him about anything. I regret it a little. Actually, Nathan. It's probably just a fresh idea. Took me home. I don't need to explain that to him. I know. Nathan looked back at me. The eyes were a little gentle late. I'll pick you up when I'm commuting. After sending me back to the private restaurant, Nathan drove to the hospital. I started sorting through Ethan's stuff. I opened this small private restaurant. A room was reserved for him before. He's here sometimes. Entertain particularly close friends. Occasionally, overnight stays are also made. But we didn't live together. He hugged me, kissed me, once when I was drunk. We almost had a relationship. But in the end, I heard him call Julia's name in a daze. That moment, I suddenly came to my senses. The body doesn't deceive. Physiological responses can never be faked. Maybe it was at that moment. I just woke up from this unbearable and chaotic love. Ethan doesn't love me. Not even a little bit of liking. I sorted out his stuff one by one. Then he called his assistant. Assistant Zhang, please take the time to come over. Take Mr. Lu's things away. Miss Emma. Wait a minute. After a few minutes, Assistant Zhang's phone called. Miss Emma. Mr. Lu said. Stuff is still there. Mr. Lu means friends in the future. We'll continue to take care of your business. No, I smiled. You'd better take it, so as not to have more complications. Miss Emma. I'll be waiting for you in the store. If you don't come, I'll send it over. After that, I hung up the phone. Assistant Zhang was a little stunned. Mr. Lu, look. Ethan's face was a little unhappy. For 3 years. This is the first time this has happened. First posted an inexplicable one. Very ridiculous circle of friends. Then it's time to clean up his things. It looks like it's been real. But he knows Jiangmu best. He loved it to the death. He could never like another man. This one and the other. It's just a little trick for girls to be jealous and jealous. Just once upon a time. Emma is stupid. Won't play these. And now most of them have been given him a tip. Ethan just thought it was ridiculous. Emma may not know. A stupid girl like him who has no heart plays such a trick. It's full of loopholes. But he made such a fuss. But it's not what he likes. The only thing in him that he likes. It's just well-behaved and docile. Ethan's face froze. Go ahead and get everything back. Do you really get it back, Mr. Lu? Assistant Zhang was a little surprised. He nodded, of course. You tell him again. I won't be going to his shop again. 12 when the assistant came to pick up the luggage. Relay Ethan's words to me. I'm not surprised. Julia is going to settle down when she returns to China this time. No more walking. Naturally, good things are on the horizon. Even if I have no place in Ethan's heart. But he still took the name of an ex-girlfriend. It's best to draw a line. Assistant Zhang, please also tell Mr. Lu. I am very grateful to him for taking care of my business over the years. Miss Emma. Actually, Mr. Lu didn't mean that. Assistant Zhang, I'm going to the vegetable market. I looked at him with a smile. An eviction order was issued. Assistant Zhang could only drag 2 suitcases with the driver. Get in the car and leave. After getting in the car, Assistant Zhang called Ethan. Mr. Liu, which house are your things delivered to? What did he say? Miss Emma said. She appreciates that you took care of her business before. And then what? Assistant Zhang was stunned for a moment. No then. Ethan didn't answer. After a few seconds, the phone was suddenly cut off. On the 3rd day, the restaurant received an order. Someone gathers. Book 2 rooms. At 6 p.m. Nathan gets off work. Come and look for me in the store. He wore a gray trench coat. Still standing tall. Eyebrows are handsome. It's just different from that night. The cold breath between his eyebrows faded a lot. Look me in the eye. It seems to have brought gentleness as well. It's going to be a bit busy tonight. I'm afraid I can't take care of you. It's okay, I'll wait for you in my room. What you want to eat? Eat with you. Working meals are fine. How can that work? Your first time in the store. I thought about it. Confessed, the kitchen made a few light porridge dishes. There is a dedicated lounge here. I'll take you there first. Meals will be delivered later. Nathan didn't come with me. He leaned against the bar. Just looked at me indifferently. I'm a little dazed. What's wrong? Nathan chuckled. Someone else's room. I don't go, I'm stunned. Only then did I understand what he meant. Don't think about it. The previous room has been converted into a private room. This lounge is for me to entertain friends. The smile on Nathan's lips deepened. His voice had just finished speaking. Behind him, a cold male voice came. I subconsciously pulled Nathan. I let it go aside. I saw Ethan and Julia. Ethan's eyes flashed coldly over me. My gaze fell on my hand tugging at Nathan's sleeve again. Suddenly, it was a little colder. Julia generally raised an eyebrow at me. Emma, long time no see. I nodded. There was no sound. Ethan withdrew his gaze, took Julia and walked inside. He didn't look at me again. Until they go far. Emma Nathan took my hand. Send me there. I don't know the way. I nodded. Let him take my hand. Drop him all the way to the box. When you're ready to leave. I thought about it. Said to him, you should rest here for a while. If you have time later, I'll eat with you. Nathan grabbed my wrist. Took me straight into his arms. There is a chef in the back kitchen. And waiters. You don't have to do it yourself. Nathan. But he had already lowered his head and kissed me, like that strong kiss that night. It's a little hard for me to bear. Not here. There is no such thing. I was anxious and scared, trying to push him away. Nathan picked me up and put me on the table. I don't know if it's my delusion. I always feel like he's a different person at the moment. It's crazy. I'm going to be here. He pulled the hem of his shirt neatly. His long body was embedded between my legs. He bowed his head again and kissed deeply. You asked me to accompany you that night. I accompanied, and I want you to accompany me tonight. But there is no such. We'll get pregnant. Then give birth. Nathan, you're crazy. He unfastened his belt slowly. Buckle my wrist. Compel me to meet him. You're going to be crazy. The canopy outside the window darkened. The sound of the wind howling is in my ears. I couldn't help but make a sound. Choked and bit his fingertips again. Nathan took my hand away. Hold tightly in the palm of your hand. His lips and teeth grinded against the side of my neck. Emma, don't put up with it. We'll be heard. Then hear me. With his words out, the force increases instantaneously. I heard my own voice shatter. Through the window. Not far away as the lights. There was a lot of people in there. Staggered. And Ethan is in the middle of it. How ridiculous, but indescribably exciting and exhilarating. I raised my hand. Hugged Nathan tightly. Nathan, kiss me. He bowed his head and kissed me. When coming out of the room, the back of my neck is still a little hot. He was hurrying to the back kitchen. Ethan's voice suddenly rang out behind me. That one was the one in your circle of friends. I looked back. I saw him standing in the cold wind with a cigarette. His face was cold. I was about to subconsciously shake my head. He sneered at Emma again. Don't bother with it. The finger holding the cigarette landed on the side of my face. I turned my face away from it. Ethan's voice was low. It's nice to hear, but it smacks at people's hearts. Use a man to deliberately me off. Emma, you're playing tricks now. It's not cute at all. Ethan, I think it's funny. He sighed again and shook his head. I'm not that bored. He may never know. He was still as conceited as he had been. I will always be a spare tire. When forever humble and like him. In fact, I've had the most intimate relationships with other men. An intimate relationship with him that he never had. But why not? Who really can't live without whom? Ethan puffed out his cigarette. Look at me condescendingly. Apparently not. Believe it or not. I didn't say much more to him. By passing him, he didn't look back. Since that day, Ethan will be in my little shop in the future. And Sujinan and I still maintain that relationship. Growing intimate. But it doesn't seem to be an essential step. Half a month later, Harrison and Ryan, when they arrived at the clubhouse room. Ethan was drinking. He and Julia had just had another fight. Huff. And at that time Julia was hysterical and arguing with him. When you refuse to give up. He thought of Emma for some reason. He never did. Never get angry. There is no temper the same. Even if he had left her behind again and chosen Julia. But she never seemed to cry. And when he went back to her, she would only ask him one word, Ethan. Have you thought it through? Every time he asked, he would rub his face. I thought about it casually. I'm going to have one Emma in the future. He'll be shy. The pale face became red and hot. If he bows his head and kisses him again, he would be too ashamed to look at him. Ethan suddenly felt irritated in his heart. He put down his glass, frowning and taking out his phone. Half a month has passed since we met in the store that day. There is no news from Emma. There is no phone. There is no WeChat. It was as if he had really disappeared from his world. Harrison sat down on the couch across from him. Individuals drink sullen alcohol. Ethan didn't speak. Harrison poured a glass of wine. Lie back on the couch. I just heard the news the other day. Clara is pregnant. Leo was going crazy with joy. Harrison himself couldn't tell what was going on in his heart. He's been happily ever after. He wanted her to be happy. But she was unwilling that this happiness was not given to her by him. Donchin, don't you really have any feelings for Emma? Ugly and stupid. How could I possibly have feelings for him? You don't have feelings for him. It's just that in the past 3 years, except for Julia, you're just a girlfriend for him. Ethan poured another glass of wine. So what? It's just that Xiao Ran is deliberately angry that he will look for him. Donchin, don't learn from me. What is it? Harrison's tone suddenly became serious. Actually, there are some things. It has always been a fan of the authorities. Donchin, maybe you didn't realize it yourself. Emma is actually not insignificant in your heart. No way. Ethan's eyebrows furrowed. It's not his type that I like at all. Zhou Rongshan smiled. Had a drink with Harrison. You can't wake him up. Look, it's also a coffin that doesn't shed tears. Ethan sneered. I'm not like you. I really don't like Emma. I really don't feel good about him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have touched him in the past 3 years. His voice had just fallen. The door to the room was suddenly pushed open. Donchin, guess who I saw just now? Ethan's fingers clenched unconsciously as he held the glass. Who's in sight? What a fuss. Hi, I see Emma. Ethan's clenched fingers slowly released. He put his glass down, resting back on the couch nonchalantly. The posture is laid back and relaxed. See what's wrong with him? Maybe even he didn't know it. The look on his face at the moment. It's very different from Hao Fong Kai's. Even the tone of the voice swept away the previous gloom. Harrison and Zhou Rongxing looked at each other. At a glance, both of them shook their heads helplessly. I just asked him if he was looking for you. He doesn't admit it yet. Ethan chuckled softly. Ignore him. It's normal for the girl's family to be thin-skinned. Or I'll call him. Ethan waved his hand and was not allowed to call him. If you really want to find him, then come by yourself. There was no way he would have been called. But he'll be in a good mood. If Jiangmu took the initiative to come to him and bow his head, he was also willing to give him a good look. I thought he was really out of luck now. Who knows that it didn't even last half a month. Ethan was in the mood. Beckoned someone to go and play cards on the side. Just a few rounds of cards played. There was no movement outside the door. He was a little absent-minded. A few times I looked at the door. Got a few cards wrong in a row. Some friends saw his thoughts. Laughing, you guys play first. I went out for a cigarette and breathed my breath. Excuse me, and the man turned back. But there was something strange on his face. I just went out and saw Emma again. Sitting alone downstairs. Say, it's waiting for someone. Ethan tossed the card. Lit a cigarette. Raise your wrist to see the time. It's 10 p.m. Who can he wait for? I don't know. I asked him to come up and sit down first. He didn't want to live or die. I just said that I was waiting for someone. Accustomed to him, give him face. Ethan felt again. This cigarette tastes no longer good. He picked up his cigarette. Extinguish in an ashtray. I went out to breathe. I took out my phone. Look at the time. It's already 10 o'clock. I think Nathan's surgery is coming to an end. It was probably late at night, too. Originally, he was going to take me to a small gathering with friends tonight. Who knew that he was called away by a phone call from the hospital halfway through? It was scheduled to end at about 8:30. But there was no news until this meeting. I stood up a little dazed. Although I know that as a doctor, it is our duty to save lives and help the wounded. But there is still a little loss. Even if all these years since, the pigeons have been released. Dropped halfway. I don't know how many times I've experienced this kind of thing, but it seems to be uncomfortable. Still not immune. Emma just turned to leave. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind him. There was a momentary stiffness in my spine, but it soon returned to normal. What are you doing here? Ethan walked up to me unhurriedly, raised an eyebrow at me. Get together with friends. My friend didn't rush over because of something temporary. I looked at him calmly. Speak slowly. Ethan seemed to hear some kind of joke. Sneered. Emma, do you know how silly you look when you lie? I was a little stunned. But then something came to mind. Also, this is the place where Lu Dongqing usually likes to come. He was clearly misunderstood. Thought I was coming for him. I'm just embarrassed to admit it. But I don't bother to explain anything more, because he won't believe it if I say it. So I just smiled at him. I'll go first. Emma, Ethan stopped me again. Some things go over and over again. It can't be repeated. You're mistaken. I did wait for a friend. He had surgery in the makeshift hospital. That's why I didn't rush over. The Ethan from your circle of friends laughed even colder. Emma, I never knew you had any doctors. Friend, I met last time I was sick. I looked at Ethan again. I called you in the middle of the night. I can't stand the stomach pain. But you hung up on me. That time, Ethan's expression changed little by little. You're really sick. There seemed to be a slight panic in his eyes. I thought you were eating Julia's vinegar. Deliberately made up lies to deceive me. It doesn't matter, it's all gone. It's almost fine now. I smiled. It's not too early, I'll go back first. I don't know why. Ethan didn't stop me again. But that's fine. Don't get entangled with each other. One shot and two scatters are the best. Nathan ends his hand. It was already 11 o'clock at the time of the operation. I had just returned to the store. Emma, I'm driving over to you now. Nathan, you've just finished surgery. I'm too tired, so I'd better rest early. I missed the appointment first. Always apologize in person. Nathan, I whispered his name. In fact, I have always been a very self-aware person. It's been more than half a month. We maintain such an intimate relationship between men and women. But he never gave me a promise. I know it. Nathan is just a freshness of the picture. He won't like me. It's like these 3 years. Ethan and I split up and merged. But I actually always knew. In his eyes, I'm not a girlfriend at all. They are either rich or expensive in their circles. All of them are dragons and phoenixes among people. And me. It's just the most ordinary one among all living beings. To talk about the pros, it is about having a peaceful temperament. Can cook a good dish. Be able to run your own small shop. Economic freedom within a certain range. Just like Ethan loves. It's always a glamorous girl like Julia. The same. The girl Nathan likes won't be like me. When I was in college, he is the legendary senior. And the beautiful earth-shattering school flower of the English department. Senpai. Has always been the most compatible pair in other people's mouths. It's just that later it was said that the senior sister wanted to stay abroad. But Nathan insisted on returning to China to become a doctor. The two parted ways. And since then, Nathan has never been in a relationship. I've been single until now. I met that senior sister twice when I was in college. It's true. Is more beautiful than many of the most famous beauties in the entertainment industry. There are only girls like that. Will make Nathan deeply obsessed. Unforgettable. Emma, what's wrong with you? Nathan's voice rang out again. Maybe it's too tired. His voice was a little hoarse. But when my name is called, but it is extraordinarily gentle. I felt a little prick in my eye sockets. The pain almost made me cry. Actually, it's nothing. That night, though drunk. But I've always been sober. I know, it was just a Dewey affair. Nathan, let's not see each other again. There was a long silence on the other end of the line. Wait until he speaks. But it's still as light as usual. Emma, what's the matter? We'll talk about it when we meet. No need to meet. I said on the phone that it would be fine. I'm on my way now. Arrived in about 30 minutes. Nathan, you're waiting in the store. Don't go anywhere. It's late. Not safe. He cut off the call after he finished speaking. But my heart was full of panicked grass. I don't know what we can say when we meet. I couldn't guess what he would say. It's 30 minutes. There seems to be no end to the long one. But it's fast and fleeting. Nathan's call came again. Emma, I'm outside your store. I didn't want to go out. Don't meet. There are some things I know myself. It's another thing to hear him say it. Sometimes, I really want to be an ostrich. But the winter in the capital is so cold. You can even hear the cold wind howling outside in the earpiece. I went to see him anyway. I'm sorry for your missed appointment tonight. I'm not angry. You're a doctor. It's your calling. I understand. Why did you just say that we will not see each other again in the future? That night was an accident. Nathan, I'm not going to get into trouble with you because of that. I also know you don't like me. So, in your eyes, I'm the one who casually takes women home for the night. No, I didn't mean that. I actively argued. I thought you posted that moment's message the next day. Is officially announcing that you are in love. He paused at this point. It turned out that I was thinking too much. Nathan. My eyes widened in surprise. So you don't like me, do you? Emma. Ethan again. Looking for you, isn't it? You still can't forget him. That circle of friends is just to him off. Nathan's tone was calm throughout. I couldn't even hear the slightest bit of mood. But it's weird. A thought crossed my mind. He seemed to be jealous. Eat Lu Dongqing's vinegar. But I really never thought about it that way. And on the night of my birthday, I've let it go completely. I don't like him anymore at all. Nathan took off his glasses. He pinched his eyebrows. He was tired and had surgery for several hours. Came to me by car again. The undersides of his eyes are all bloodshot. I didn't even bother to change the white coat on my body. In the cold winter wind, he was thinly dressed. Stand in front of me and say these words, no matter how dull I am. I could also feel that he was not completely ruthless towards me. But why would he have affection for me? I'm just an ordinary girl. Emma Su Jingnan looked at me. Maybe it's because her eyes are slightly red at this time. The whole person looks a little unspeakably wronged. You can't do this to me. You can't start and give up. Can't be irresponsible. I didn't. You just said let's not meet again. Nathan, I'm just worried it's going to bother you. I don't want you to think I'm going to haunt you because of that night. So you don't like Ethan now. That circle of friends didn't deliberately send it to him, isn't it? I want to laugh. But his eyes were inexplicably red. The night is tired. He stood at the tuyere, shielded me from the howling wind. I tilted my face. I saw the little me reflected in his pupils. It's just me. Why was it him that night? Maybe it was that late night a long time ago, when my stomach hurts and I think I'm going to die. It was the warm hand he stretched out. That's when I saw him. If there is no heart, there is an intuition in the form. He'll definitely save me one more time. He walked towards me, extended a hand to me the second time. Maybe I shouldn't miss it again, even if the affection is only slight. But it's better than never liking you. Nathan, don't be jealous, okay? I didn't like him for a long time. I haven't finished yet. Nathan held my face. He bowed his head and kissed him deeply. Ethan didn't know why he had come to Emma. Maybe it's because of the huge argument that broke out with Julia. Makes him completely tired. The thought of the end was born. Maybe it's the doctor Emma was talking about. Made him faintly uneasy. Therefore he sent God with demons. In the middle of the night, I drove to Jiang Mu's shop. No one came looking for him. He was lying to him. There were no gatherings of friends at all. He just went to him. He wanted to get back together with him. And this time, he was looking forward to being back together with him more than he had done countless times before. But just when he wanted to go to Jiang Mu, a car was parked outside Eki's shop, and Nathan got out of the car. Ethan only felt his heart beat to a halt. In fact, he always thought in his heart, the doctor might just be an ordinary man. An ordinary girl like Eki. How good can people who like him be? But he didn't think of it. It would be the man I saw in the Eki store that day. Actually, I saw him that day. And he had a faint feeling in his heart. Just conceited feelings. How could such a man like Emma? But why can't you like him? The man who came to her in a late-night drive. Don't you have your own? Over the years, for a long time, Emma had already been a part of her. So when she decided not to want him at all, that's what he does. It's not reluctance. It's just that, as Harrison said, the authorities are obsessed. He had always thought of him. Won't like Emma. Emma, on the other hand, will always love him. Wait for him no matter when. As long as he turns back, Emma will always be in place. Time and time again, this idea has been confirmed. So he was unscrupulous. There is no fear. Until this moment. He watched Emma and Nathan kiss inseparably. He watched as Nathan followed Emma home. He watched the light inside come on for a long time. Finally turned it off. And in that darkness, Ethan heard it from his heart, too. The sound of something shattering. 22 Ethan's phone rings. In the shaking, endlessly. It's as if he doesn't pick it up. The man won't give up. Ethan looked at the name flashing on the screen. He smiled self-deprecatingly. I still pressed answer. Xiao Ran. Ethan. Where have you been? They said you saw Emma tonight. You went to him, didn't you? I knew you had been lying to me. Say what you don't like about him. It's all about coaxing me. Ethan, since you like him, why are you looking for me? Why get back together with me? Now that you're back together with me. And he thought about what he meant. What do you think of me? Ethan, I'll tell you. I'm not Emma. I'm not that good at bullying. I won't be stupid and wait for you all the time. I love you all the time. You're right. Ethan spoke suddenly. Julia's crying stopped abruptly. Ethan, you really aren't him. You really won't be stupid and wait for me all the time. So now I'm finally willing to tell the truth. Is it? Ethan. Julia's voice was a little flustered. I haven't been in love for 3 years. Ethan sneered. Every breakup. It's all single and waiting for me. What qualifications do you have to say about me? Every time after breaking up with me. Why don't you turn around and go to Emma? Why can you be seamless? I can't. But I never have. Concealed it, Julia, I was seamless. But I've told you frankly every time. But what about you? Who said that he was 3 years? I've never had another boyfriend. Who deceived you first? It's really not as good as Emma. At least Emma loves someone wholeheartedly. I'm not as good as him. I'm half-hearted, hesitate, greedy and selfish. Julia, we're just a pair of rotten people. Ethan, you actually like Emma, isn't it? Actually, you've liked him for a long time, isn't it? In fact, every time you go back to him, get back together. They were all very happy. Particularly willing is not. Ethan clutched his phone. I thought in a daze. So he was so obvious? It seems that this is indeed the case. Seems like every time after an argument with Julia, he couldn't wait to find Emma. Not even willing to wait for a night. Seems like every time. He was vaguely looking forward to an argument with Julia. Break up. Then he would be able to go back to Emma as a matter of course. Naturally, trap him by his side. It seems like only when he is by his side. His heart is not empty. But on the night of Emma's birthday, he and Julia actually had an argument. But they didn't quarrel badly that night. It didn't get to the point of breaking up. So he didn't go to Emma. The next day, Emma posted that moments. He was actually angry. But he didn't care in front of his friends. Hard-mouthed and said that Emma was just jealous. These little tricks are played. And then there is. Emma calls assistant Zhang to pick up his things. In fact, he was panicked at the time. But he was too egotistical. At that time, I still didn't believe it. Emma really doesn't want him anymore. He even naively thought about teaching Emma a lesson. Scare him. But that's the difference between these thoughts. There is no possibility of recovery. Ethan listened. Julia's cry in her ears. He leaned back in the saddle. Press firmly on your temples. Xiao Ran, let's stop making trouble like this. Ethan, what do you mean? Ethan stared at the darkness. After a while, he lowered his mouth. Break up and don't see each other again. My room is not big. The bed is also not big. Nathan is tall and long-legged. Sleeping on it is a little aggrieved. But he refused to go back. I also feel sorry for him for being too tired. I'm ready to go sleep on the couch by myself. But Nathan refused. Half asleep and half awake. I suddenly thought of something from the past. Can't help but ask him, Nathan, why did you always be cold to me in the past? Including that we had a relationship. After that night, although he was much softer towards me, but I never dared to think that he liked me, because you've been separating and merging with Ethan. Su Jing'an hugged me a little tighter. So I always remind myself to keep my distance. That time you got sick in the middle of the night. Ethan didn't ask. I thought you were going to break up with him. It turned out to be nothing. Nathan bowed his head and kissed me. The tone is a little serious. Emma, I was actually angry at the time. I don't understand why you don't care about yourself at all. In fact, I was already thinking about breaking up at that time. It's just ridiculous. Because it's almost my birthday. But I don't want to celebrate my birthday alone. My dad died when I was a child. Later, when I was in college, my mother also left. Open this private restaurant. It can be regarded as inheriting his father's legacy. Because he cooks really well. I left me a lot of recipes that I didn't pass on. So later, after Mom left, I opened this small shop with the inheritance left by my parents. But the helpless people, there will always be a desire to covet more warmth. Birthdays like this. I want someone to spend with me. I just didn't expect this birthday. It's going to be like this. But it was a blessing in disguise. Met Nathan. Good thing I met you that night. Nathan didn't speak. It just hugged me tighter. There are so many good things and coincidences in this world. But there was one person. I've been silently trying to get closer to him. Nathan was angry. He doesn't know how to take care of himself. always being bullied. But more of them still feel sorry for him. That late night many years ago, because of my mother's death day, and a man was sad to hide and cry, maybe never know. The way he cried was so pitiful. And on the second day, he pretended to be strong. He laughed and laughed with his classmates. And how lovely. How distressing. Later Christmas Eve, he blushed along with the schoolgirls. When I gave him the apple, his shameful heart was really moved, but at that time, he had already completed all the formalities for leaving the country. And he was just 19 years old. He thought about waiting for him to grow a little bigger. Wait until he comes back from abroad. So he didn't say anything, but the apple he sent, it is the only fruit of peace that he receives. He treasured it for a long, long time, until the time when it is necessary to throw it away. But I didn't expect the days after he left. He would like other men with such heart, because I've seen him like a person. Because of the 3 years he and Ethan's separation. He saw it all, so he has always been detached from him. In fact, it was he himself who was afraid. Fear that he will be at an unsafe distance. Let him see the clues. Thus completely alienating. Until the night of his birthday. He said it was his birthday. He didn't want to be left alone. The devil sends God. He took him back to his home. It's now. But he was already asleep in his arms. Nathan bowed his head. Very lightly, kissed him on the center of his eyebrows. He knows. The rest of my life after that. He won't let him shed another tear.